What is up, everybody? J Nell here with my Bellator 142/Glory Kickboxing recap video. Happened this past Saturday. I know I'm a little late, but my brother was in town and I was partying. All right, let's get into it. Yes, they threw this event together. There was a Glory Kickboxing ring and a Bellator MMA cage side by side in the same room. They even had two fights going on at the same time. Bananas. I was 4 out of 6 on my picks, so pretty decent night for me. Let's start with the honorable mention, a fight I did not call because it came out before, or it was announced after I did my picks. Glory Kickboxing is welcoming the ladies. We're gonna have the ladies now in Glory Kickboxing. This was the first match. This was the debut of Carrie Melendez, Gilbert Melendez's wife, against Hadith Edith, and this was a three-minute round of a butt whooping. She just tore this girl apart. She's the better, cleaner striker. She used to be a Muay Thai fighter. Cleaner striker, harder hits, head, body, and of course the kicks. She had black and blue legs. There was a push kick that Melendez landed that pushed her knee all the way back. I actually thought she might verbally tap, but she stuck it out. Unanimous decision in favor of Melendez, and yeah, pretty awesome. Who do you think is next for Carrie Melendez? Now, next up, I have the debut of Josh Thompson against Mike Bronzoulis. I chose Thompson to win. He did. First round, they were filling each other out. Then Thompson was able to get the takedown, hold him down, ground and pound for the remainder of that round. Round 1, Thompson. Round 2, also Thompson, more of the same, except for he got the takedown earlier. Round 3, he gets the takedown immediately. Immediately he gets side control and immediately gets a head and arm choke. Tap, tap. Good, clean, dominant victory for Josh Thompson on his Bellator debut. Who do you think is next for Josh Thompson in this new lightweight division? I think he's going to spark a fire. Next up, let's get into this 4-man tournament here, Bellator MMA, for the light heavyweight #1 contender. First up, I chose King Mo, Muhammad Lawal, to beat Litton Vassell, and he did a very competitive 2-round fight in the 4-man tournament. They were all 2 5-minute rounds. That's it. This fight lasted all 2 rounds. Unanimous decision in favor of King Mo. They felt each other out for a very short period of time, and then King Mo struck first. He was quicker to the punch. He was clearly faster than Litton Vassell. He clipped him first. It actually had him kind of dazed and confused for the remainder of the first round. I don't know why King Mo didn't go in for the kill, but it should have. Next round, Linton comes out on fire because he knows he basically has to finish King Mo because you don't have another round to catch up. King Mo still faster to the punch, still the cleaner boxer, landing on the inside, but Linton was able to land some nice body kicks and body punches that did some damage. We'll talk about that later. So again, King Mo wins the first semi-round fight. Next fight was my pick, Phil Davis, the debut of Phil Davis against Emmanuel Newton. This ended in the first round. They were going back and forth for a short moment because Newton knew, let me keep Phil Davis away from me because he's the better grappler. He couldn't keep him away for too long. Phil got him up against the cage and then was able to take him down. And then this consisted of Emmanuel Newton just basically trying to avoid the inevitable Kimura. He tried. He scooted and booted all around that cage. He was doing flips. They both did a somersault at one point, and Phil stayed on that arm. He was scrambling on his back. He tried to hand fight, everything. Eventually, Phil had him up against the cage. Phil Davis had locked down both of Newton's legs so he could no longer turn while he was adjusting his grip on the Kimura. Then he stepped around, basically sitting on Newton's head while he cranked that Kimura. Tap, tap. First time Emmanuel Newton has ever been submitted. This was a great debut for Phil Davis. He moves on to the finals later on in the same night. We'll get to that later. Now, I want to go into the Glory Kickboxing main event. This was for the vacant light heavyweight champion. I chose Zach Makwasa to beat Salo Cavallari. I did not get this pick. Now, this was kind of controversial. Let's talk about this. This was 5 3-minute rounds. Very competitive. Salo was pushing the pace. Makwasa was pushing the pace. There was a lot of momentum changes here. Zach landed more punches for sure, quite a bit more punches. He basically just had a upper body attack. He really didn't use any kicks. Again, this is a Glory Kickboxing fight. There are no elbows, but there are knees. You can clinch for a few seconds just for knees, and then you're going to get broken up pretty quickly. And again, no ground fighting. Zach landed most of the punches. Some nice uppercuts down up the middle. Nice shots up the middle that landed hard. Stumbled Cavallari back, but again, there was a lot of momentum changes. Salo landed a lot of leg kicks, and we're talking about clean, hard, smack, upper body, inside leg kicks, completely unchecked. I'm like, Zach, you better check them kicks. What are you doing? So the leg kick game, completely went to Salo, and I think that that's what made the difference here. In the second round, again, there's pretty much no clinching here in kickboxing. So Salo was warned twice not to clinch. He did it again, and the ref took away a point in the second round. Now, this was a majority decision in favor of Salo Cavallari, even with the point being taken away, even though it seemed, at least to me, as though Zach was more active. However, the point system, I have to get more familiar. First, they talk about the knockdowns. There was a knockdown on both ends, but the canvas was so slippery, it was like a half slip on both accounts. Same thing with the Bellator cage, by the way. You need to get that together. They're already in danger. It's a fight. They don't need to be slipping and sliding all over the place, getting knee injuries. Come on now. So they both kind of landed a knockdown that actually wasn't counted as a knockdown because of the slippage. Slippage. All right. So Salo got the majority decision. Two judges gave it in his favor. The third gave it a draw. I guess they gave the leg kicks more points. Then they go to extraordinary shots landed. I don't know if that means creativity or power. And then it goes to normal shots landed. Again, I'm not sure how I feel about it because I'm not familiar enough with the rules. Let me know what you felt about this. But this was a no meaningless fight. We have a new light heavyweight Glory Kickboxing champion in Salo Cavallari. So let me know what you think, who they should fight next, immediate rematch. Let me know what's up. Now, let's go to the finals of the four-man tournament here. I didn't do a prediction because we didn't know who's going to be in the finals. We have King Mo against Phil Davis, or so we thought. Now, like I said, King Mo took some body shots there, and those body shots cost him the fight. The doctors did not clear him. Possible broken, fractured, bruised ribs. So next we have Linton Vassell. The doctors did not clear him because he was knocked silly by King Mo, possibly concussed. So we go to the winner of the alternate preliminary fight happened on the prelims, which is Francis Carmont. So we have Phil Davis against Francis Carmont. So these two men find out they're fighting each other like an hour ago. They get in, they're trying to fill each other out. Francis is just doing some kind of snake motions with his hands. The crowd's booing because they're not throwing anything, because I think they were both just kind of puzzled, like, okay, what do I do? Eventually, Phil Davis pushes the pace. He lands a left, and the legs give out on Francis Carmont. He's not out, but the legs give out. Then Phil Davis rains down like 3 shots. I believe one knocked him out, and the next one knocked him in. Over KO, winner of the four-man tournament, Phil Davis. He could not have had a better debut. It was like a commercial, basically. First fight, he finishes the ex-champ. First person to submit him in the first round. Second fight, KO, first round. Winner, Phil Davis. He's going to elevate the talent level there at Bellator. So this is great for Bellator and really for the sport in general. Now let's go to the main event. And still, the Bellator 205 champion, Liam McGeary. I lost this pick. I chose Tito Ortiz to win. He did not. Liam, I underestimated you on the ground, bruh. Let me get into this. This was actually a really good first round. Tito Ortiz are going back and forth. Tito Ortiz gets him up against the fence and gets him down pretty much very quickly early on. So I'm like, oh no, because he's running down that Tito Ortiz ground and pound. He got him in the seatbelt lock. Tito Ortiz was in half guard. Liam was basically on his side, so Tito has one arm around Liam's back and is holding the arm that is touching the ground, so Liam only has the one arm to defend, while Tito's one arm has the leverage and the power and can rain down bombs, which is what he was doing. While he had Liam pinned up against the fence, I thought, okay, I'm going to get this pick, although I found myself rooting for Liam McGeary. Rooting against my pick. I think I got a thing for him. All right, let's get into it. So, Liam McGeary is scrambling. He's fighting the hands, trying to get that hand free. He's got a heck of a grip. With the one free hand, he managed to latch a hold of Tito's wrist, and he actually was controlling that arm for quite a bit, enough to get his other arm free. So now he's scrambling on his back. He's trying to roll. He's trying to get from underneath Tito Ortiz. He's throwing up a triangle, almost going for an arm, trying to get a submission, maybe use that to get to a stand-up position. I'm like, get up, Liam, get up. Little did I know, he was totally calm. He was totally fine. In fact, this man landed in an inverted triangle submission on the bottom, on his stomach. That's with the legs, pulling the arm on his stomach, face down on the ground, with Tito on top of him. That's a hard submission to land. So my bad, Liam. I knew his submission game was good. He has quite a few wins by submission, but it's better than I thought. This was a great win for him, and I'm okay that I lost this pick. A great win for Bellator because Tito Ortiz, even though he's 40 years old, of course, this is the changing of the guard, but he was a legitimate champion. He is a legit legend, period. Not just inside the cage, but outside the cage. You know, Tito is that guy who said, you're not going to pay me pennies to get punched in the face. He's the guy that started demanding from the UFC, you're going to let me get my money outside of this. I'm going to get endorsements. You're going to pay me a little bit more if I'm going to headline your fights. That's Tito. Everybody followed his lead. Yeah. So he actually is a real deal legend. So Liam beating him decisively in the first round is nothing but good. It makes him look like a legitimate champ, because the one knock against Bellator being second tier or whatever to UFC is that the talent's not as rich. Well, this is a step in the right direction. We know he's going to fight Phil Davis next. So who do you think is next for Tito Ortiz? Should he quit? Should he retire? I actually thought he performed well until he got caught. So I think he has a few more fights in Bellator. Let's use that name. Let's use that mouthpiece he has and sell some more fights. Now, well, let me know what you think about that. There was a big announcement. The ex-owner of Pride, the Japanese MMA organization, has opened a new Japanese MMA organization. They will be debuting on New Year's Eve on Spike Television. The headliner will be Fedor Emelianenko. That's where he went. Everybody was wondering, where's Fedor's going to go? Back to Japan. MMA is back in Japan. And in conjunction with Spike TV and Bellator, if they all got to work together to really give the UFC some competition, I'm so cool with that, because that's good for everyone, including the UFC and especially for the fighters. So let me know what you thought of this entire event, how you like the kickboxing and the MMA together, how you did on your picks, any injury updates. Talk to me. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, where I have exclusive 15-second prediction and recap videos. Subscribe, like, talk to me, take care, and goodbye.